Hi, sunflowers. Let's look at another book review. It's called The Guest List, written by Lucy Foley. I think it's my first Irish read. She's an Irish author, and the entire story, without starting immediately, is set in West Ireland. I think it's my first read on that kind of culture. Let me quickly go through the disclaimers before starting off. Regular sunflowers already know the disclaimers, but let me just quickly go through them. The background music you hear is not copyright by me. It's all taken from the World Wide Web. Thank you, Internet. I do not go through the entire plot. I might hint a bit out about the plot here and there, and I might do a quick synopsis, but I'm not going to do a plot analysis or an in-depth analysis of the book. This is what I follow for all my movie reviews or my book reviews. There's no plot by plot, there's no play by play, there's no scene by scene, nothing of that sort. I just try to rant a bit about things I thought about the story or the book or the ideologies, the characters, maybe the character arcs, the descriptive nature, such opinions. Again, I will not touch upon mistakes in so much as for critique. I might touch upon a few mistakes that stood out to me in particular. There will be spoilers. There might be spoilers. So if you are like me and do not like to know the story before getting to read or listen to a review or watch this review, please go and read The Guest List by Lucy Foley and then come back to the review. I think that's it. The photo you see in the video is taken from my own copy of the book, and I must say, oh yeah, I bought this book, so yeah, it's one of the few ones off late that I have personally gone and bought all by myself. Not gifted by anyone and not bought by anyone else for me, so it's one of those books. I did go with a friend to buy it. And let's get started. So, The Guest List is known to be a thriller or murder mystery, and I have to say, I'm really sorry that I'm starting off on this note, but I have to say it did not meet my expectations. It starts off on a small island in the coast of West Ireland where Jules Keegan, and Will Slater are going to be married. Jules runs an online magazine, and Will is a host of a survivalist TV show. He is not just a host, he's actually the person who goes through this kind of daredevil wilderness challenges and tries to essentially escape them by using his mettle, his mind, his physical skills, his survival skills, in essence. There is a transition between the past of the characters and the present goings-on of the wedding as well. So there is description about it's a place called The Folly. It's an island, and it's a wedding venue, and it's actually owned by a wedding planner called Oif. I really don't know the pronunciation of it. Please, if you are from Ireland or if you know Irish, please let me know. The spelling is Aoife. This is the name of the wedding planner. If you do know the pronunciation, please comment below. Is it A for Oi for Ive or something totally different, and I'm totally saying it wrong? It's owned by Ive and her husband Freddie. She is the wedding planner, and Jules has consulted her. And on the bride's side, there is Charlie, who is Jules' best friend, and Hannah, Charlie's wife. Olivia is Julia's younger half sister. And on Will's side, there's Jono and 4 ushers who are 4 people who went to boarding school with them: Femi, Angus, Duncan, and Peter. I'm not going to go into too much of the plot analysis, like I said, but I will do a quick synopsis up until the maybe crescendo or the actual thriller part of it. Olivia is frustrated because she has gone through a bad breakup and she's made a fool of herself. She's gotten drunk, she's dated somebody questionable, and stuff like that. And at dinner, there's talk about the bachelor party, and Hannah, who is Charlie's wife, realizes that Charlie's not saying something about the bachelor party. She doesn't know if he's scared or he's frightened, or I think those both mean the same thing, or he's generally traumatized. He's not talking about the bachelor party, and I know in pop culture and generally people do crazy things on bachelor parties sometimes. She thinks it might be that, but she wonders why he's still hesitant to even talk about it. What did happen? They also talk about these people, the guys who are basically the ushers, the 4 guys who went to boarding school with the groom, Will and his best man Jono, Femi, Angus, Duncan, and Peter, talk about survival, which was a game that they used to play in school. And it's the game that Will's show is actually based on. Like I said, it's a survival reality show kind of thing where he does survival tactics to escape from thrilling situations, adventurous situations like on a boat or in the forest, stuff like that. And it was actually Jono's idea, but he didn't get the role because Will is basically this good-looking, handsome, suave, dashing man. And Jono is actually kind of a mess, and they sort of portray him as a kind of drunkard. The morning of the wedding, there's a there other guests arrive, the wedding goes on as planned, and there are tensions going on. One side, there is Hannah's concern about why Charlie is not talking about the bachelor party. Another side, there is Olivia, who is talking about her breakup. I won't go through all the details because I don't want to spoil it too much, even though I have mentioned that there will be spoilers. I don't want to go into too much. There's a lot of tension about her breakup and what were the complications. There are tensions on Jono's side when he finds out stuff about Will that Will hadn't told him regarding the show, regarding their past, stuff like that. And there is tension in general. I guess when a lot of friends and family meet after a long time, there is a lot of tension as in general. Meanwhile, while there's this storm, they see that Olivia has gone into the water and is drowning, and Will saves her. And while they're talking, Hannah talks with Olivia because Jules is a little embarrassed by her because of all the past that she has with her half sister, and she feels like she's also hiding something from her, and there's this tension, the familial sisterly tension. So Hannah talks with her, and Hannah talks about her sister Alice. She talks about the past, and she leaves out some details, but she tells us the details. Then the wedding goes on. After the wedding, we realize some things about Olivia, about Will. We realize some things about a note that Jules got asking her not to marry Will, that he was a bad person generally. and I will not go into the next part because the mystery starts now. The mystery starts now with us discovering some things, the characters discovering some things, and I will leave it at that. I must say I wasn't very, very impressed. See, I have read quite a bit of crime thrillers, I have read quite a bit of murder mysteries, detective stories, police drama, stuff like that. I have watched and read, and this did not hold up to the standard that it could have. The build up towards the mystery was actually quite good. The tension and how we're introduced to each character and how each character has tension, and it's not overly done at all till the, I think, about 3/4 mark. It's very, very well done because we meet each character, we find out their past, we find out why there is some tension between some of them. Why is Jules not ready to talk with her sister? Why is Charlie not ready to talk about the bachelor party? Why is Jono upset and angry with Will? Why are all these going on? We get together the puzzles, we piece together the puzzles, but at the same time there is this tension. It's like a crescendo, like I'm saying, where it leads up to the climax of the play, but when you get to the climax, it is not at all, for me personally, it was not at all satisfying when I found out what it was, because the mystery is just put there. There's not much of a mystery, let me tell you that. There is a thrilling part of it, there is the tension part of it, there's not much of a mystery there. We end up finding clues so easily to solve the mystery, and yes, it was a little bit tricky to find out who did do the crime, but it wasn't much of a solving part of it. There wasn't much solving involved. There weren't people trying to figure out the crime, trying to figure out how to solve it, who did the crime. There's not much of detective work going on. It's just put out there. Like I said, I'm not going to give you any more spoilers, so I might not be that clear in what I'm trying to say, but I'm just saying that it was just put out there. It was just like narrating a story of what happened rather than giving us the suspense. The suspense is given till 3/4, and then afterwards it just drops. Like there's no suspense at all. It's like nothing. And I'm sure smarter readers than me would already know who the perpetrator was. It's literally not narrated that well near the very end. I must say there are some gory details, so I think it's only suitable for young adults and up because of the sensitive nature of the human details regarding like dating and, you know, the adult scenes. And there are really graphic scenes regarding this game that they call survival as well. So for that reason, I think it's only suitable for young adults. It also shows the brutality, the lengths people will go to bully other people. And I think it's really sad how they show that this game that they play in boarding school is really horrific, and I hope that no other boarding school or any student does this ever, because it's really horrific. It's kind of hazing, ragging, bullying, in all senses gone wrong. It's everything gone wrong. So that is really horrendous, and for that reason I do not recommend this to any people who are not young adults and who do not have that maturity to realize that these are not just fun things done in the name of ragging or hazing, but it's actually pure violence. It's purely criminal. So yeah, I wasn't that happy with this book. Great 3/4. The last quarter could be improved, could be tweaked a lot. A great author with great potential, I must say. If you did like my review, please do hit that like button. Your subscription will be an encouragement, and do share it with friends, family, colleagues, acquaintances, anyone you feel would enjoy this type of review, this type of book. Comment below your thoughts. You can even comment below any other books you would like me to review. And hit the bell icon to be notified when I do upload a new video. Thank you, sunflowers, for your time. It did run a bit longer than I intended for it to run. That's fine. Thank you so much for your time, and until next time, bye, sunflowers.